Hey guys, how are you? My name is Alex. So I'm gonna talk to you about some of the things I do for my Mutoh VJ-628. So with the Mutoh, I know there's a lot of complaints and people talking about they're missing whites every time they start their day. I get it. I understand. I have a long time with the Mutoh. I've been working with STS with certain different things. I have a lot of experience with other small printers, which you basically are doing everything yourself. Sometimes companies might tell you, no, you don't have to do this anymore, you don't have to do that anymore. That's a hit or miss. Remember, DTF is a new technology. There's a lot of crazy stuff going out there. I see the videos that people, the groups, what people are posting and things like that. I limit myself to saying certain things in the groups. A lot of it is because everybody has their own way, until it's not working anymore. So this is where I get a lot of questions asked. I get a lot of, hey Alex, but what are you doing? Why is it that yours is not doing this or you're not dealing with that? So by all means, if what you're doing works for you, if what the company you bought the printer from is telling you to do is working for you, this video is not for you. Send it to somebody else that might need the video. So let me cut to the chase. Watch the entire video because at the end I'm gonna tell you something very important that has to do after the process and before you actually start printing your legit official images. So one thing is this: when I shut down, okay, I release my head, I move it to the side, and I wet cap. I fill up my station with cleaning solution, okay, and then I go and I lock I clean my wiper also, and my sponge little drainer system that's next to the head. Everybody knows where it's at. I clean that out. I rinse it with warm to almost cool water, not hot water because it's kind of brittle, so it'll break apart. Okay, so don't do that. So one of the things I do is when I wet cap, I clean my station, I wet cap, and I lock my head on top of the station. I go in and I shut the printer down. Okay? The key thing with this is the following. Make sure that your temperature is where it's supposed to be. Okay? I keep my temperature between 74 to it's between 70 to 76. I keep it in between that area. Alright? If it reaches 77, 78, I have printed on that. But at that point, you want to start kind of like regulating the temperature again. And keep it between that 70 and 76. Okay? Then my humidity. Your humidity, make sure that you're keeping it, between 45 and 55. Okay, you don't want it to go to 60. You don't want it to go when it starts exceeding those numbers, like over 55. That's like, hey, I gotta go back, bring the humidity down. When it starts exceeding, when it starts going under 45, the percentage of humidity, you want to start bringing that back up. Okay, don't leave it because it'll dry out. You'll run into an issue. No matter what you're doing, any issues that you're having, the main thing is that you want to make sure that your humidity is where it's supposed to be and that your temperature is where it's supposed to be. If those two things are off, it's hard to tell what's going on with your printer. I don't care what so-and-so is telling you or what. Look, I do a lot of prints. Okay? I get up, I shut down, I get up, I shut down. When I have an issue on my printer, it's because something is definitely wrong. You understand? Like something is off. Either they send me bad ink, which happens. Okay, the company's not perfect. There's people. There's everybody. Everybody is human. So I had bad ink sent to me. At that point, You gotta communicate with your company, go through the proper channels for your warranty, and move on from there. Let them know they're gonna do some testing, check out a couple of things, troubleshoot, and then when it comes down to it, you're gonna figure out with them what the bigger issue is. But they're always gonna start you up at the basics. So to cut a lot of that time off, make sure your temperature and your humidity is where it's supposed to be at. Okay? 45 to 55 in humidity, 70 to 75, 76 at temperature. A couple of degrees above or below is fine, but when it does that, you want to start bringing it back to where it's supposed to be at. So when I do this, one, it helps me save a lot of cleaning solution because the printer is not on running. Two, the capping station has a rubber seal around it. So when I lock in the head, it's sealed in there with the cleaning solution. What things can happen? You might have a little bit of the cleaning solution go up in the lines. That's not a problem. That's not an issue. Okay? When you come in the morning, and then when I lock in the head, right, with the cleaning solution, I make sure to turn the printer off. Okay? Because you don't want it circulating and running fluid through that defeats the purpose. You want to just keep it conditioned in that little area, that little, station and how you left it. Turn it off, call it a day, make sure your humidity stays the same and everything is controlled. Later on, I'm going to put a video up on what my setup is and go from there. So you can kind of have an idea of what works best for you. Once that's set up, in the morning you're going to come in, you're going to turn the printer on, no issues. You're going to go ahead and shake your ink. Shake the ink very well. You don't have to take them out of the adapter. All right, if you're using the large ones. If you're just using the regular cartridges, just shake the life out of it. I grab the adapter in the bag. So basically the bottom part is the adapter and the top part is the bag. And I shake it very, very hard. And then I put it sideways. And then this way. And then I shake it a lot. Both of them. Both my whites. I don't really have to do that for the colors. So I haven't had any issues when not doing it for the colors. Added to that, once you do that, you're going to put it back in the printer. Make sure that that's good. And before you start printing, remember you was wet capping. So depending on temperature, depending on pressure, whatever way you're at, things can change. A little bit of solution might run into the lines. That's an easy fix. What you're going to do and what I do in the morning is that I run a mini charge, number one, and then I run a long cleaning. Okay? I don't do short cleanings at all. I don't do the medium cleaning. I only do long cleanings. You can do whatever you want. I'm telling you what works for me every single day. If there's a change in temperature, humidity, and I'm missing a line or something like that, is very minimal. The charges and cleanings that I do compared to a lot of you guys that I see you counting 12, 15, 20 something cleanings, initial charges, that's a waste of ink. If you're not printing as much as I am and you don't see that that's a waste of ink, that's a waste of ink. That's like a last resort. Okay? So when you're going to come in here, turn the printer on, you're going to do a long cleaning and a little charge. It doesn't have to be in that order. Okay? You can do 2 little charges and 1 long cleaning. Whichever. Why this varies is because if you are in a low humidity area versus a high humidity area versus what time of year you're in is going to make a difference on how it's going to affect your printer. The printer head is very sensitive to these things. People will say, no, but how do you know what the humidity is? I'll tell you. If you have a humidifier in the room, you're wrong. a little humidifier, the ones that's gonna measure, not the machine that's gonna throw humidity in the air. I'm talking about the measuring tool, the digital one that shows you what it is. I forgot the name of it. I don't care. The point is, the section where the head is out of the printer, you want to have that as close to that as possible. It could be on top of it, side of the case, next to the button of power on and the stop and go button, on top of the printer, because that's the closest you can get it to the printer head. That's your most accurate humidity and temperature. Okay? You can have other ones around the room, that's fine. But the main one that counts is the one on top of the actual printer. All right? It helps me so much because if you actually understand how humidity and temperature works and varies, you'll be this process is gonna be way easier for you. Okay, so the closer you have your measuring gauge for humidity and temperature, the better it is. Okay, to the head. That's where I have mine. So I get up, I turn it on, I shake my inks, and then I do, like I said, either 2 mini charges and a long cleaning, or one of each. Then I do a nozzle check. For the most part, a lot of that cleaning solution that might have gone a little bit in the lines might be cleaned off, but it's not all out. I'll tell you that right now. So you're gonna see where you're at on your nozzle check. If you're having issues with any colors, or especially white, it's gonna be very minimal. If you have more, it's because something changed throughout the night. The humidity or your temperature, especially your humidity, if that changed throughout the night while you were sleeping in the other room, and the area where you're at is actually not controlled very specific to the print head, yeah, you might see some difficulties in the morning. But again, I don't do short cleanings. I don't do the medium cleaning. I do long cleanings. And for the most part, I do little charges versus cleanings. Once you got that set up and you see that you're good on white, your first 4 prints of the whole, before you start printing images, your first 4 prints, you're gonna do a double white layer. You're gonna do a double white layer on your first 4 prints. Why? Because that's gonna help solidify the white coverage on your images. Then after your 4th print, you can go ahead and put it back to normal, just back to default. Okay, so once you do that, you should be good to go. You shouldn't have any more problems. If you are having any more issues or anything like that, one, you're welcome to call me. My number is 719-464-8880. Shoot me a text message and let me know to hit you up. Sometimes I'm busy. I do have a marketing company, so I stay really busy, and sometimes I'm in meetings. Added to that, you want to take into consideration that when you start printing, all right, you want to always make sure that you have the measuring gauge as close to the print head as possible. Okay, I don't know how much emphasis I can put on that. If you don't know what your temperature is, and it doesn't matter what's in the room, it matters what's in the area of the print head, and the closest you can get to is, like I said, having it above the printer. Okay, so that's basically it. Shut down, wet cap, clean the wiper. If you print it a lot, I go ahead and clean the sponge. It's not something you have to do every day. I do it every other day because I choose to do it. These methods is what's working for me. Okay, some people are like, well, I did that and it's not working. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you're not measuring your humidity. You know what the humidity in the room is at, or where your measuring item, tool is basically located in the house, but you don't know where is that what the humidity is right next to the head. So sometimes you want to look into that. That might help a lot. They sell the little tiny ones on Amazon. I think it's like they give you like 12 or 10 of them for like $8. I don't know, something like that. So make sure your room is good. It's prepped for printing. This applies to all the printers. You know, if you have another procedure that you do, you know, leave a comment at the bottom. Help, you know, share it with other people. Maybe it can help them. This is what's working for me. Those issues that you guys are having every day, and I see them, I feel really bad because, you know, in theory, what is recommended doesn't always work everywhere. I live in a very dry environment, and that means that if I turn the AC on, it's throwing dry air, cold but dry. If I turn on the heater, it's gonna throw dry, hot air, hot but dry. So in my area, I need to have a humidifier. Understand? And if you're in another place that you have a lot of humidity, then you want to do the opposite. Get a dehumidifier. A lot of this is setting up a perfect or close to perfect environment for printing. Don't believe nothing that anybody tells you when they tell you, oh no, you can print, you can print, you can print. How are you printing? How is your room set up for printing? All these things matter. If you are new to DTF, all these things matter. It doesn't matter what DTF printer you have. If you have a DTF printer, you want to prep your room. I'm going to upload a video soon, and I'm going to give you a heads up, kind of show you what are the essential things you want to have in your room, on your print room. Okay, because just because your house has a general air conditioner, and you have a humidifier, a humidity reader in one area of the room where your printer is at, that's not enough. I have 4 in the area where I print because it allows me to see that this side of the room versus that side of the room versus on top of the printer versus whatever other place, they're all different, and you will notice that they're all different. Okay, and that can really affect your printing. So if you like the video, please, you know, give it a like, leave your comment below, subscribe, and also if you know anybody that's going through these issues, maybe this process might help them where they're at. If it doesn't help you, you know, and you find another process, please let me know. Hey Alex, I found something else that works. But thank you. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watching my video. Share it with anybody that you think that can use this information.